The reason we chose Student Transitions as an enhancement theme is that I think the sector has got quite a good feel now for what would be a good enhancement theme. We've been doing this since 2003, we've done a number of themes already, and looking at the research, looking at what was going on across the sector, there was a real consensus that student transitions should be the focus for this next theme.
Every higher education institute in Scotland has an institutional team to develop the enhancement theme Student Transitions. The student representative from that team is then automatically a member of the Enhancement Theme Student Network, which is coordinated by QAA Scotland and supported by Sparks. From within the student network, 3 student representatives are elected to sit on the Themes Leaders Group.
The topic of student transitions is so relevant for where we're at as a sector. I think we used to consider students as being 18-year-old school leavers, but if you look at the diversity of our student body, there is such a range of people coming into and through higher education. So it's appropriate to look at what do we need to do to help them through their different transitions.
At our first meeting with the Student Network, we got together and discussed the different ways that students can transition throughout their time at university. So we decided to go with non-traditional students and with postgraduates.
Postgraduates in particular have been a group that we've always wanted to work on as student associations, but we've never really done as much as we could have. And this is, through the enhancement themes, the perfect time to actually get some of the groundwork done. So what we're really encouraging is for institutions and student unions to submit examples of work that they've been doing or would like to do to the enhancement themes website, so that we can create this electronic portfolio, an electronic bank of resources and case studies to help us share around the great work and good practice, because we know that every institution is different.
We decided to run an event on care leavers, about their experiences in higher education, further education, the kind of social barriers to getting to that point, and what institutions can do to support them. We had representatives from Who Cares Scotland, from NUS, and as well as having entrepreneurs who are from CARE and representatives from organisations like Celsius.
What we've achieved so far in this theme can be divided into 3 aspects. First of all, there's the work of the Theme Leaders Group. So that's the overarching group which has been doing some scoping and has been commissioning work on behalf of the sector. Then there is work that is being done by the Student Network. Probably the biggest area of work so far has been what has been going on in institutions. Each institution has its own institutional team. We've got some funding. They've been working out what their priorities are in their context, and they're planning their work for the rest of the theme.
When it comes to the enhancement themes, there's an awful lot in it for students. The first is the fact that it is student transitions. Students are in the name, and all of the work that universities, that QA and the student associations are doing around it is there to try and have a positive effect on the way that students are moving through university, into, through and out of. I do think there's an added bonus that we're actually able to see some of the work going on. We're able to live through the work that's happening. And as the project rolls on to its 2nd and 3rd year after this year, even more might be getting done. And as students, we're able to have some real influence over the work that is happening. I would really encourage any student that's got any interest in anything to do with the enhancement theme that is student transitions to get in touch.
People should really think about how best they can get involved in the enhancement theme, because there are opportunities for all sorts of people. I think this particular topic has brought in a lot of professional services staff with a real range of responsibilities as well. The opportunities aren't to be missed. You can access the resources on the web, you can attend events, you can bid for project funding as the theme goes through. So there are so many opportunities for people to get involved with the theme in different ways. What's next for the theme? We have lots of really exciting stuff going on. For the Theme Leaders Group, we are doing some new, quite innovative things. So for example, we are looking at how do we benchmark and evaluate the achievements of this theme? How do we know where we are near the start of the theme so that we'll know where we've got to at the end? We're also doing some work on how can we map transitions in a way that will be meaningful across the sector. So we're trying to produce a transitions map. We're also doing some work on how do we support the students to develop transition skills. Transitions aren't just a process or a time period. They involve students thinking about what skills they've got and how they manage change. The student network are continuing with their projects, and they will take on new projects, all student-led. And then the institutional teams will also have their projects, and that will continue over the next 2 years.
So if you do want to find out a bit more about how you could contribute to this project, then please don't hesitate and speak to your student unions, student associations. They'll be able to provide you the link to the students that sit on the student network, who'll give you even more information, because we really need your ideas as well as the ones that we've got ourselves.